Yeah, great question. When I was a kid growing up in the Christian church, I never thought much about that because all my friends either were Catholic or Lutheran or some branch of the Christian tree. But as I get older, especially as a soccer player, I mean, people from all over the world, from different backgrounds, different religions, different cultures. So I had to wrestle with that. Like, what is it just because I was raised this way? It's just because this is what my ancestors believed? Is there anything like uniquely different about Christianity? And there is. If someone asked me, why do I think the Bible is true? Why do I think Christianity is right? I think I would come back to 2 or 3 key answers. I would say the prophets, the apostles, and the gospel. So I've read the Quran cover to cover, and the Quran doesn't have any like prophetic predictions to prove like this is a book that actually came from God. So you know the background, a man named Muhammad was in a cave, said that God spoke to him, and just single-handedly he said, yep, God spoke to me, write this down, and that's where the Quran came from. So you either believe he did or you didn't. The Bible, on the other hand, is written by, over 40 different authors, I think, whose messages all line up like this, and so many of the things that they said hundreds of years before they happened actually happened. You got to ask yourself the question, well, how did they know that? Read the book of Isaiah. A virgin will be with child and give birth to a son. He'll be up in Galilee and bring a light to the Gentile nations. Isaiah 53, he'll be pierced for our transgressions, laid in a rich man's tomb. You have to ask yourself, 700 BC, like how did Isaiah know all that stuff about Jesus? And the Bible's answer is because God told him. So I think what the prophets knew, the predictions and prophecies they made that came true in Jesus are incredibly compelling intellectual evidence. I would ask a skeptic, like, how do you think that happened? Like, we know for sure that this stuff was written before Jesus. Historically, we have copies of it. How did they know that? Unless God was behind it. So the prophets, then the apostles. I would ask, why do you think the apostles, there's a great video, if you ever know the Babylon Bee. Have you seen this on YouTube? Look up Easter hoax. And it's like, it's these actors trying to be the apostles saying, hey, guys, guess what? Jesus is dead, but we're going to say he is alive. Why? Because they're going to arrest us and kill us. Yeah. And then one guy's like, whoa, hold up. What? Why would we do that? And it's like this really kind of humorous take on why would the apostles make up a resurrected Jesus if it led to their torture, crucifixion, arrest, and death? Why would you die for a lie that you had invented? So I think the predictions of the prophets, the martyrdom of the apostles, and then maybe most importantly, just the uniqueness of the gospel. Did you know what Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons and Buddhists and Muslims and Jews and Hindus all have in common? They all say in different forms that you have to save you. You do. Be good. In Buddhism, there's the Eightfold Path. In Judaism, there's the 10 Commandments of the Torah. There's the 5 pillars of Islam. There's karma in the Hindu religion. Essentially, those things are saying you're bad, be better, and hopefully it works out for you. There's no certainty, there's no peace. So all these religions say that. And then you pick up this book, and what do you find? You find a passage like John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him will not perish but have eternal life. So you get to God by faith, by the gift, by his love, by his mercy. You have to ask yourself, why out of all these religions are like 99 of them in this column, and there's just this one that says actually God is so good, you can never do enough good things to get to him. So he gives you this amazing gift that we call salvation. So when I put those things together, maybe the last one is more emotional than intellectual, but like this is the only religion that could save a sinner like me. And if you're honest with yourself, like do you really think if you tried a little bit harder in this next year, you could be good enough to earn God? No, I'll take the cross, I'll take grace. And they combine that with the intellectual arguments of the suffering of the apostles and the predictions of the prophets. And I don't think it's like, well, it's all the same and I just grew up this way. There's something intellectually really different if you actually read the Bible compared to other holy books that compels me. Maybe I was raised this way, but there's some strong confirmation and proof that this is the religion that God has intended.